Hello my fellow creator, welcome. I am Avyavan. In this class we are going to create this amazing 3D rotating text animation in After Effects. So let's get started. First, to create a new composition, go to the composition menu and click new composition. Name it main comp. Set the width to 9020 pixels, the height to 1080 pixels and the frame rate to 30 fps, and the duration should be up to 10 seconds, or you can also choose the duration as you like. Then click OK. Next, we need to create another composition. This one will be for the individual letters or numbers, so name it number. Set the dimensions to 250 by 250 pixels, frame rate to 30 frames, and choose the duration according to your preferences. Then click OK. Now in the letter composition, we will create our text, but we will do it one letter at a time. Select the text tool and type your letter. Place it at the center of the screen and make sure the anchor point is exactly in the middle. To do this, select the text layer, make the right click and go over to the option of transform. Now select center anchor point in layer content. Next, we will add a black solid behind the text so that we can clearly see what we are doing. Place this solid layer below to the text layer. Next, we need to add a camera. Go to the layer menu, click new and select camera. Then we will change the view to left so the 3D depth is clearly visible, and make it 3D. Just check the 3D box next to it. We will duplicate this layer, press Ctrl plus D or go to the option of edit and select duplicate to duplicate this layer. Now press P to show the position property and move it along the x-axis. Now press P to show the position property and move it along the z-axis. Set it to 125. This value is half the length of 250 pixels. Meaning we want to move it that distance along the z-axis. Go to the main comp and duplicate the layer again. Press R to show the rotation property and set it to 90 degree. Then press P and set the position to 0. Now to move it upward, subtract 125 from the position value. Go back to the camera view and you will see these layers moving up and down in 3D space. Now our creation is looking pretty cool. Again, duplicate this, press P and set the position to 125. Now rotate it. Press R and choose the flip vertical option. Then make another duplicate, press P and set the position to 250. Flip it vertically as well. Now we have a set of numbers going from top to bottom. The rotation looks good, but we need everything to move together. For this, we will create a null object to control everything. Right click in the timeline panel and select new null object. Now select all the number layers and parent them to the null object. Don't forget to make the null object 3D as well. For now, delete the camera. Select the null object. Press R to show rotation properties and set a keyframe at the start. Then move the timeline to about 2 seconds and set the rotation to 2. We need to smooth out the keyframes. Select all the keyframes, press F9 and then go to the graph editor. If your graph looks different, switch to speed graph mode. Adjust the graph so that the rotation looks smooth. Then we will enable motion blur for all the layers. Don't forget to enable motion blur for 3D layers as well. This will make our animation look more realistic and smooth. Now let's pre-compose everything. Right click and select pre-compose. I will name it number. And since the number is moving top to bottom, I will add fall to the name. Hit OK. Inside the pre-comp, I will shrink the composition size. To do this, enable transparency and adjust the width and height in the composition settings to eliminate any unnecessary space. Looks good. Just click OK. Back in the main composition, Press play and you will see that all your text is now contained in this pre-comp. Now back in the main comp, press play and you will see that all the text is now contained in this pre-comp. Now for the next part, we need another number moving in opposite direction, bottom to top, selecting it and duplicating it. Then go to your project panel, hit Ctrl+D again and rename it to Arise. Now drag and drop this onto your composition, replacing the previous one. Inside the pre-comp, select the null object, press U to reveal keyframes and change the rotation value from 2 to. This makes the text move bottom to top. For the next step, let's duplicate the number again and replace all the other number with this new one. You can go ahead and type in whatever text you want. When you return to the main comp, you will see two different directions for the number animations. Since they are the same color, you can apply the invert effect to one of them to make it stand out. Once you have created all your characters or numbers, if they overlap, space them out accordingly so they are not on top of each other. Next, select the Arise pre-comp, hit Ctrl+D to duplicate it and hold Alt to drag it onto the text. Go into this new pre-comp, select the character or number and press Ctrl+D to duplicate it again. Replace the existing numbers with this new one and type in your text layer. Now let's animate the scale. Select all the layers, press S for scale and set a keyframe. Then move the keyframes a little further along the timeline and set the scale value to 0. Ease the keyframes, then head into the graph editor and adjust it like this. Move the keyframes to your liking and check the preview. Lastly, select all the layers, offset the keyframes by about 8 frames and you are done. You have now created a stunning 3D text or number animation. Congratulations! To make the text 3D, enable 3D layer for each one. You can experiment with text, colors and timing to make it your own. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button and leave your questions, and I will see you in the next video.